everything is loading. Let's make sure everything's good over here. Ooh. Everything seems to be doing well. Let me check on Twitch. Twitch is live. Good. Okay. Hey. What's up? Oh, I said hey right there, and that did not sound. I did not like that sound of the hey right there. That was like, you know, those like cringe Instagram reels or TikToks where they're like, hey. I'm like, ooh, I accidentally said it like that. That was really bad. Anyway. Hello. I haven't streamed in a few days. Work was really busy over the last few days, and I've been kind of low energy after getting home or doing other stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill for a bit and enjoy my stuff, because I don't feel like streaming, therefore I won't. Anyway, as you can tell by the title, we are tier listing today. I slept a lot recently. Like, I got home from work yesterday, and like I was like, no, I'm not gonna take a nap. Like, I'm gonna force myself to stay awake. I'm not gonna take a nap as soon as I get home from work. And then I got home from work immediately and like crashed and took a nap. So like that didn't happen. And then I woke up and had dinner, and then I went back to sleep, right? Anyways, all that to say, very sleepy the last few days. And yeah, so I don't really have all the energy to be like, we're gonna go ahead and get into some big thing or whatever. I think hopefully soon I'll start making a schedule once some of the bigger, larger stuff in my life gets out the way. I'll make like a schedule for game stuff, right? I want to get started on the Pokemon Nuzlocke Genlock Challenge. Marvel Rivals Comp, gotta get into that, right? A playthrough of Animal Well, gotta do that. Playthrough like Ender Magnolia, gotta do that, right? And some more just chill streams with like Geotrash and Cookie, also those. So we got stuff on the to-do list, right? I'll just probably have to make myself a schedule and be like, you know what, like, here's what it is, right? Like, we'll do like Tuesdays, for the Pokemon Challenge, Thursdays for Animal Well, Fridays for Rivals Comp, and then anything extra can just be anything extra, right, whenever I feel like it. Maybe we'll do something like that. Anyway, I should have put in my nose spray before stream. Shoot. All that to say, today, we're just going to do some tier listing. So, we're going to start off with, as you can tell by the title, all the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. I want to yap on this. Then we're going to go ahead and move into Marvel Rivals characters for Season 2. After now the season's been out a bit, how I kind of feel, how strong the characters are and everything, right? And then we'll move on to all the Pokemon games. I want to get that done before I start the Pokemon Challenge. I did it on stream like a month or two back. Excuse me. I did it on stream a month or two back, and I actually did start the challenge, but I started when I was streaming only on Twitch and not multi-streaming, which means there's no VOD of it anymore, because the Twitch VODs get deleted after a certain amount of time. So I was like, you know what, let me get this back done again. Maybe my feelings have changed, I don't know. Because I'm gonna like basically just restart the challenge and everything, because I barely got through any of it. And so there's no VOD, so I won't actually have a VOD of it. And then we might just do some extra fun ones at the end. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started, yeah? Alright, so let's start here. We're on tier maker, and as you can see, I have my a little bit different than the usual tiering system set up for myself, right? Usually I do the colors in this order, but we've got some extra tiers here with the S plus and F tiers. Sometimes I don't do an F tier, and I never really do an S plus, but with the tracks in this game, I feel it's kind of warranted. S plus I'll try and limit, right? Like hopefully like at max in my top 5 up here, but we'll see how many really good mass pass because some of them are really good. I'll kind of talk a little bit about each track. And yeah, let's just go through it. Alright. Starting with the first track in the game, Mario Kart Stadium. I think this is just a solid, like, B tier track, right? It's your starter track, so it has to, like, okay, so like with the starter track, it has to establish like the foundations of the game, right? Like, here's like your simple easy track, learn how to turn, learn what items are, learn some of the mechanics like anti-gravity and a small glider section. I think it's a really good introductory course. I mean, obviously more so than tracks that have been introductory courses before, like Figure 8 Circuit. I mean, I love Mario Kart DS, but dear God, come on, right? So, I mean, I think this is a very good first track for the game, which just kind of leaves it at a solid high B. Obviously, it can't really get much higher because the theming is pretty standard, the track itself is pretty standard, difficulty is low and everything, so it's not going to get to like the upper echelons, but I think it's a high B tier, right? Next is Water Park, and this one is a low tier course for me. I think it's D tier. It just feels very uninspired, right? And I don't really want to talk about too much like, oh, the track looks like this, looks like that, right? Because base game Mario Kart 8 Deluxe looks good, right? There's no denying it. And while this track does look good, it feels extremely uninspired. It's just like, hey, it's a water park, right? There's no Mario theming at all to it, though, right? The most Mario thing you have in this course is like on the Ferris wheel, they have like a Wario cart. Like, little Wario carriages, more like the Ferris wheel carriages, right? But like, there's no theming to this, right? When you have other stuff in this game, like there's at least some kind of like a little bit of theming. Even Sweet Sweet Canyon barely has anything, right? But just the concept in and of itself feels more creative, being in this like completely desert world, as opposed to water park, which is like, okay, like this, we don't even have like a fantasy theme here. This is just a water park, right? So that's why it goes down in the tier for me. And Sweet Sweet Canyon, with saying that, is going to go in the C tier. Well, it does have like that fantasy kind of theming with it, with the sweet world, desert world, not deserted. It doesn't have any kind of really Mario tie-ins or whatever, so it doesn't really feel Mario Kart. It kind of just feels like a fantasy kart type race. The track itself is fine. Although some of the turns, I think it's okay progression for the first cup. Introduces stuff like split paths, a couple shortcuts here and there, nothing major, nothing crazy, but nothing really interesting, right? Next up, Swamp Ruins, and I think this is obviously the highlight of the Mushroom Cup. This track is fantastic, the theming is really great, the music is fun, the track looks nice. I think it's a very good ramp in difficulty for the end of the Mushroom Cup, right? Very twisty turny, makes really good use of anti-grav and glider sections. Has nice shortcuts that are like very risk reward and feel good to pull off. I think it's just a very, very solid course, and a great one to kind of end the Mushroom Cup off, right? Next up, we have Mario Circuit. And honestly, it feels a bit weird. Like, obviously every game's got the Mario Circuit, right? But having a Mario Kart Stadium opener into a Mario Circuit kind of feels a bit awkward sometimes, right? Especially because as a track, while Mario Circuit is interesting in concept because of like, oh, and you're a Figure 8, but like you're turned on yourself. It just kind of feels like a glorified Figure 8 circuit, right? You've got items, you've got some counterpoints and Goombas and things, but mostly it's kind of just straightaways with large curves. And a Figure 8, right? It's just a glorified Figure 8 circuit. And so it's not gonna really place super highly. It's kind of a low B tier track. Toad Harbor up next, and I think this is a much better track than Mario Circuit, right? I don't really. Oh, this is already looking at me whether I want to place this above or below Swamp Ruins. I definitely think it's an A tier course. I don't think it's S tier, but I think it's very good. Makes good use of some shortcut areas, some jumps and stuff like that. On top of just the theming being quite nice, good obstacles with the little trolley carts, and just overall very solid track. There's nothing really of note to say too much on it, except for the fact that I'm glad it's not a battle mode course anymore. dear God, Wii U Mario Kart 8 was certainly a time to be alive. I think overall I'm going to place it in under Thwomp Ruins because I think Thwomp Ruins just has a better impact, being the last of its course and being, you know, kind of the best of its cup, as opposed to Toad Harbor, which is kind of an intermediary course. Going into Twisted Mansion, which Twisted Mansion is okay for me. I really don't have any crazy strong feelings on it, except for the fact that it kind of feels really awkward and disjointed at times, right? Some of the turns in this course kind of feel a little bit awkward to take. I like some of the shortcuts it has and the theming it does when it's above water, right? But the underwater sections feel very awkward in this course, right? It feels like they're kind of haphazardly kind of put in there to be like, oh, we want a water section in this course, when I think this course would have benefited a lot more from actually going through more of the mansion instead of going through like this little underwater area. I know the underwater area gives a chance for kind of the bonefish to kind of have their little moment in the spotlight, which is nice. I do like that, but aside from like that little, you could have had just like a short water area where you go through like a pool or a pond or something in like the courtyard of the mansion and had some bonefish in there, as opposed to, or fish bones in there, as opposed to having a whole water section that just feels empty and completely disconnected from the rest of the track, right? And lastly, we have Shy Guy Falls, and I think this one probably places just above Thwomp Ruins. Just really, really good and solid course, very fun and lively. I love the music changes as you get close to the Shy Guys and then move away from them. Great use of the anti-grav mechanic with going up and then the waterfalls. Just feels very lively and fantasy-like and just really, really good. Next up, we have Dolphin Shoals. Huh? Or Sunshine Airport. The heck? There it is. I was about to say, this cup is separated. Why? Now we're not separated anymore. Alright, which one comes first? I think it's Dolphin Shoals, right? Dolphin Shoals up first, and I think this track is really, really good. I probably would put it about here. Obviously, like, we'll go ahead and be like, okay, yeah, the lick, right? With the saxophone, the music when you come out the water. Cool, we get it. It's really good. I'm using it. I really like it. Right, but it's not the whole course, right? The course in and of itself, very good theming, very pretty, very nice. The music is fun. The track is very fun with all split paths and pipe kind of little, all those little pipe ways that kind of have in that split section. Or going on top of the eel, under the eel, whatever it is. It's just a pretty standard fun track, doesn't have many shortcut opportunities, only got a couple of them. But overall just pretty fun, not super difficult, good opener for its cup. Then we move to Sunshine Airport, and this one is also still fun, still good. The music is nice, the track is simple, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of difficulty in it. It's kind of in low V, especially because it kind of has like a weird section up in the air. I like the fact where you have kind of the like launch up with the airplane and then coming down with the planes, right? It's really nice, but I kind of wish that instead of just having a weird floating grate in the sky, that they what's the word I'm looking for? That they made it like on clouds or something, because it kind of feels a bit weird having a weird floating grate up there that you drive on for a little bit, right? Then we move into Electrodrome. This is going to be our first S tier, right? I'm not hasty to put anything in the S+. This is not just for Electrodrome, but for other stuff too. I don't know what I'm gonna put in the S+ yet, so I don't want to kind of start putting stuff in there too early, but I know might be some stuff coming up that might get in there. I don't know. Anyway. Electrodrome is fucking awesome. The music is great, the track is really fun, split path mechanic is really well done on this, and I love the little musical and screen effects that it has there. A couple shortcut opportunities which are useful. Just overall, kind of everything I said about Dolphin Shoals, but to the max, especially with just a more interesting theme, more lively and fun track to race on. It's just iconic like that. Like, honestly, like, it's just fun, and the layout flows really well, which is something like that you can say about Dolphin Shoals. The layout doesn't flow as well on Dolphin Shoals as it does with Electrodrome. put on my headphones so I can hear what music is playing. Yeah. Next up, Mount Wario, and this is one of those ones where I'm like, ah, shit, like, do I put this in S plus or not, right? I think for now, damn, this is kind of hard. I don't really know, right? I think for now, I can. And I don't think I need much explanation. The music is great. I think every track that has kind of a 3-segment thing like this instead of 3 laps just has a leg up inherently because it's just more interesting and fun to race on, right? There's so much more you can do with it. And so this looks kind of, it's fantastic. It flows really well. It's very fun. The only thing that it could hold it back possibly is the second section in the forest. That midsection where it split paths and then convenes back together feels a bit awkward, but other than that, like, very good still. We'll see whether it moves down or not. Cloud Top Cruise. Pretty fun. Good opener for its cup. Nothing crazy though. Yeah, I get to bump above Sunshine Airport just because of the Ghosted Garden Galaxy musical references in the song at certain points. But other than that, it's just kind of cool how it uses the vine blocks as a basis for its track onto the airships and stuff. The cloud section only feels a bit weird with kind of metal track in there, which it was more kind of beanstalk or cloud stuff in there, but you know, either way it's fine. Just very good, very fun. Bone Dry Dunes. I think people hate on this course a little too much, but it obviously doesn't get super high for me. I like that it's, instead of just being your typical desert, it is like red sand and kind of like this like dark dusty atmosphere as opposed to just the sunny yellow sand typical courses, right? But overall, nothing like crazy or anything, right? Bone Dry Dunes, there's not a whole lot of dry bones. They have bone piranhas, and they have some skeletons on there, but overall it's nothing crazy. The flow of the track itself feels kind of awkward at some points, especially like on some of the jumps, and once the track starts splitting, the flow of the track can feel kind of awkward, especially on 150 and 200 cc's. Yeah, it's just okay, but yeah, I don't think it's like the worst in the game as much as people trash talk it, but like it's nowhere near like the upper half of the tier. Next up, Bowser's Castle. I think this Bowser's Castle is fine. But for whatever reason, like when I'm playing this Bowser's Castle, it feels less like a Bowser's Castle and more like a just lava dungeon type track. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Like I don't really feel Bowser from this. I don't really feel the kind of menacing, intimidating thing. It just kind of feels like a lava course. I don't really kind of know how to explain that and everything, but yeah, it just kind of, I don't know. Still good to lava course. It's fun. It's not as hard as I would want a Bowser Castle to be either, right? It's pretty simple for a Bowser's Castle. It's just decent overall, but nothing crazy. And then this game's Rainbow Road. A lot of people hate on this game's Rainbow Road because it takes less of a fantasy Rainbow Road type aspect and takes more of a sci-fi Rainbow Road type aspect, but I like it. I like how they leaned into like the space station, man-made kind of Rainbow Road type thing, instead of just, you know, continuing with the fantasy. I mean, but since the start of the franchise, it's always been fantasy, Rainbow Road in space. This is still Rainbow Road in space, but it's like more techie, space station stuff, right? I like that. I like that they switch stuff up. People need to get their shit together, so I'll complain about it. The layout is fun. Nothing feels awkward. It's very fun to race on. Still difficult, as Rainbow Road should be. I think it's really good. Low S, maybe a high A. We'll see where it moves, but I really like it. Moo Moo Meadows. It's fine. It's got cows. It's Moo Moo Meadows. I kind of low-key am starting to build a grudge against this thing. I mean, I'm kind of sick of playing it from both Wii into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's like, okay, fine, right? And out of tracks for me to come over to MK8Dx, I was like, it wouldn't be my first pick, wouldn't be my top picks either. But it's like, it's fine, right? But then hearing it like announced for Mario Kart World, I'm like, like, for real? Like, I'm building like a grudge against this course. I don't want to play it anymore, and then I'm gonna have to play the Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart World. I'm like, I don't care about this thing, bro. Like, whatever. GBA Mario Circuit, really good glow up. It kind of just feels like a better Mario Kart Stadium, more interesting, a little bit more difficult, but just overall solid, right? Also crazy good glow up. Yeah, it's just, I don't have much to say on this. It just did a really good job with the glow up of this track, make it more interesting, and just feel like a better Mario Kart Stadium with its increased difficulty and track layout, right? TG Beach, still decent. Nothing crazy, just looks nice. But yeah, it's not really fantastic or anything. Toad's Turnpike. Yeah, fuck this thing. I don't know. It doesn't have the cool Sunset Skybox anymore. The traffic is really easy to avoid, especially when you go on the walls with anti-grav. I feel like this track really didn't need anti-grav implemented on it. I feel like they should have made the lanes closer together, made the traffic hard to avoid. Like, they kind of messed with this course a lot. I also still kind of hold a grudge on this from Mario Kart 8, the original release's battle mode. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this version of Toad's Turnpike as much because of its, and I know it's an easier cup, so it is easier, but it's just like, I don't know, they just kind of made it boring, not even really much of a traffic course because it's very easy to avoid it. Dry Desert, also, I am not a fan of. Desert courses really have to do something interesting for me to really, like, be reeled into them. This one kind of takes away interesting things. From Double Dash, like the giant twister and that Sarlacc pit and everything, a few other things in there, it just kind of feels like your generic desert course now. It's got some pokies, they added in Oasis because ooh water and ooh Oasis, but that's what they do now. Every time they try and make a desert course interesting, they go ooh water, right? It doesn't save you, bro. It's boring. The layout doesn't feel very fun, right? I don't know what it is about this layout in particular, but it kind of feels a little awkward and not like interesting at all. It's just, I don't find it to be a great course. Donut Plains 3, it's okay. While it looks really good, and is a nice glow up on Donut Plains, it's never been an interesting course in my opinion. It's one of those SNES courses that's like, hey, you know, like, I don't know. It's no Mario Circuit 3, right? It's not that, but it does feel kind of just like a generic race course. I mean, the Monty Moles and the kind of like wet pasture like feel that I get from the course does let it stand out a little bit. But at some points it can lean a little too into Moo Moo Meadows, kind of like pasture with Monty Moles. This is also like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not fantastic. Royal Raceway though is actually pretty good. It's fun. It flows well. A lot of nice turns and things. Good glow up. Good atmosphere. Stands apart with the giant lake and the sakura trees. Just good overall. Probably a low A. Yeah, that's about it. DK Jungle. Now I gotta put a disclaimer here. This is a personal bias tier list. Right? Some people might play the game and they're like, I love DK, like he's my favorite Mario character. I love the Donkey Kong games, they're my favorite Mario franchise, Mario adjacent franchise. I love this track, it feels so fun and good and special and everything. I'm not a fan. I was never a Donkey Kong kid growing up. I'm not a big crazy fan of the Donkey Kong games. DK is not my favorite character, right? This track feels kind of awkward to me. It feels like it doesn't flow super well. The glider section feels it feels probably cool if you know the game and what those big rock guys are. but playing it, it's like, okay, it's just kind of straightaway glider. Didn't feel like it really had to be that long. The banana temple, like the entrance to it, like things feel awkward. The bounce pad flowers feel, even like a decade later, I still have issues with those bounce pad flowers. I don't have any issues with any other bounce pad in this game, whether it be mushrooms or actually really mushrooms are like the big bounce pads, but also like music park drums or anything like that, right? I don't have any issues with them, but it's only the DK Jungle flower bounce pads that I have issues with, which is like how did I not hit this, or how does like the like track going onto it just not send you in the right direction? I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of it, right? I know a lot of people might put it B or A tier, but like it's not my cup of tea. DS Warrior Stadium, nice glow up, good use of anti-grav for some of the stadium mechanics. I think it's just fine overall, nothing crazy, just solid, right? Sherbert Land, on the other hand, is a crazy good glow up, looks fantastic and plays really fun and really well now. The addition of the underwater sections actually really fit this course, really help it stand out and feel good. I think this is a really pretty good course. We're going to put it in A tier. Music Park as well. Fantastic course, was already good for Mario Kart 7 and just feels even better here in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Good go up in the graphics area, very fun, flows very well, and plays good. Shortcuts are nice, just overall very solid course. Yoshi Valley is okay. It is okay, and that's about all I have to say. It's got one, I think the thing that holds it back is that it's just got one definitive fastest path. So it's like, why do anything else? As cool as it is to have like 7 million different paths that can all weave around, if they all like took you the same amount of time but all had obstacles in the way to slow you down because you had the same amount of time to get to the end, I would have put this higher, right? But the fact that they just don't, like, this was like the only one in the original battle mode where I was like, this only feels like a battle. This feels like it could be more of a battle mode course than a racetrack because of the interweaving and interconnectedness of it. It works. But as a racetrack, it's like, why have all the options if none of them are better than any other? DS TikTok Clock, huge glow up, really phenomenal, very, very fun. I don't know what I have to say about this. It flows well, it plays well. I like that you can actually trick off the hands and using the shortcuts instead of just getting hit by them now. It looks fantastic. It's good. Piranha Plant Slide, on the other hand, is not my favorite, and in fact, I do not like this course at all. There's something about this course that feels so awkward to me. Everything about the layout of this course feels like it shouldn't be. The track just feels like it is cramped, like the turns are too small, like the map just needed to be upscaled about like 1.3 times in the model editor, because holy shit, like it feels so uncomfortable to play on this map. Everything feels so awkward. The layout just, it's like, I like the music, I like the stuff that it has on there, the little references and everything in the track, and some of the stuff, but it's like I can't feel good playing it because it doesn't feel good to play. So yeah, Grumble Volcano, I think it's like a top A tier. It's Grumble Volcano. I don't know if I have much to say about it. It's just good, hard, fun. The gimmick of the track falling away is super great. Looks fantastic as a glow up from Wii. It's Grumble Volcano. What more do you want to say? Rainbow Road. I really like Rainbow Road. This is like one of my favorite courses to play. I love what they did with the 3 segments. It visually one of the best looking courses. It's so good. Yeah, this one is, I think, a little bit more personal bias. I don't think many people would put it this high, but like personal bias, the music and the look of this track are just so good. The layout is so fun and flows really well. So great for turns and drifting. It's just really great. I really like it. Yoshi Circuit. I think it's solid. It's a circuit course, so it's never really gonna go super high, but I think it's fun, it's solid, it flows pretty well. Unfortunately, they took out some of the stuff that was from Double Dash, but like overall, just still fun, still good. Excitebike Arena, I think this course gets a lot of hate for whatever reason, and I don't think it really warrants it. I think it's also very fun. The random layout of it, like, is really cool. It doesn't feel super impactful because some of like the little course elements are there are very similar to one another, so it doesn't feel like anything crazy, but it's still a good touch. It feels very fun and keeps it fresh. And despite the fact that it is just a glorified oval, so is Baby Park, and that one's just way worse because it doesn't have interesting things on that track. While there's this one that has ramps and jumps and mud slips and all that stuff. So yeah. Excitebike Arena is way better than Baby Park, and people need to, and if you're gonna shit on Excitebike Arena, you better be shitting 3 times as hard in Baby Park. Dragon Driftway. It's good. I like the theming from Gobblegut. I like the music. It's cool. Some parts of the track can feel awkward. Most of the track feels fine though. I think overall it's just very solid. Putting a lot of tracks here in the middle of the B tier, but that's just kind of how I feel about these. I just kind of like it. Mute City, on the other hand, is fantastic. Just under Grumble Volcano, very top of A tier. Very fun, really good course, nice shortcuts, and just very solid overall. It's not necessarily like super hard, but it is with other players, the items and how exhilarating and fast it can be. Wario's Gold Mine, on the other hand, doesn't really live up to my expectations of it, unfortunately. It's still a fine course, but it doesn't feel, I don't know, it feels very tame compared to its original iteration, right? Most courses going into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe feel like upgrades. Even some of the ones down here like Cheap Beach feel like it feels like an upgrade from its original iteration despite it being in C tier. Wario's Gold Mine, however, feels like a downgrade coming from the Wii, right? Graphically, obviously, yes, it's an upgrade, but gameplay wise it doesn't feel like one, right? The layout is still the same, but the hazards and the risky nature, I guess, of the course just doesn't feel the same, right? It's not it's just not what it is, what I'm looking for. It feels much easier and less, what's the word I've been looking for? Dangerous, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, moving on, SNES Rainbow Road. I think this one's really good. I think it's a really good Rainbow Road. Dangerous, fun, very great glow up, looks really good, great music, just all that stuff. I think it's just good, right? Okay, not an important notification, good. Just very solid overall. I don't really have anything bad to say about it, except for I wish people would not pick it as much when I'm playing online. People pick this one all the time for whatever reason. Ow, my elbow. But overall, just very good. Ice Outpost. Next Yumatuki session. I'd say... You know what? That's a great question. Actually, let me look at my calendar real quick. Let's see. Tonight, maybe this evening. I might do one this evening, because tomorrow I'm planning on doing a little bit larger of a stream, or instead of larger, but just longer, right? And I'm busy the rest of the week. From Wednesday on, I'm busy, so maybe tonight I actually might do one after like I have dinner and everything like that. So probably tonight I'll do one. Back to the tier list real quick. Ice Outpost doesn't have the greatest theming for it, which I know I kind of docked some of the other courses for, like Water Park, but I think it's kind of made up for because it still kind of holds the fantasy kind of aesthetic, kind of like Sweet Sweet Canyon does, as well as the fact that the music in this one is phenomenal. Like if we're talking music tracks for this game, Ice Outpost, top 5 easy. This thing is so good, right? But like the and also the layout itself is very good. I'll say opposed to like Sweet Sweet Canyon and Water Park, the layout for Ice Outpost is way more fun to drive on, right? Really good. It's only really held back by that it doesn't have a concrete like Mario theming to the track, I guess you would say, right? But still good because there's a lot of Toads on it. That kind of makes it feel like, oh, it's kind of like Toad's operation, right? So I would still put this one really high, maybe like top of B tier, but it probably doesn't break into A tier because of it doesn't have enough kind of fantasy kind of feel to it. Hyrule Circuit though, Unfortunately, I don't know how high I can place this one. Every time I look at Hyrule Circuit, I kind of get like a twinge of like pain in my heart because it feels like a missed opportunity, you know? It's just like, it just, the whole thing feels like a huge missed opportunity when you had like segmented tracks like Rainbow Road and Mount Mario, right? Hyrule as a region just has so many locations and landmarks and characters and things throughout the years that when like Hyrule Circuit was like announced and everything, I was like, this could be so awesome. And like thinking about it, I was like, oh, you could do a segmented track, and it's like, oh, like you start like one place and then like you can drive through like, I don't know, the Gerudo Desert or Goron Mountain, or like Dorito Village, or Zora's Domain, or some of like the towns or the castle, things like that, stuff through the game. Maybe it could take like from some of the games like, you know, Wind Waker, and you've got ocean areas, or maybe you're doing through like Skyward Sword and you've got Skyloft. I don't know, right? And you can have a segmented track where you go through so many different regions, right? And it didn't do anything. It was just like, here's Hyrule Plains and a little bit of the castle you drive through for like 2 seconds. We reskin some of the enemies, but they're not like really like the huge big ones that you want to see. And that was it. And I was like, you know what? That's really disappointing. The track layout feels okay at best. The whole thing is just kind of makes me feel very sad and underwhelmed. And so like eventually I just can't see it in a great light. So please see it. Fuck Baby Park, nothing said. Cheeseland, really good. I kind of wish they kept the moon theming that it had, instead of going to this pizza desert theme. But overall, still good. Fun layout, fun track, good glow up. Just very good overall. Wild Woods is also really good. I also really like this one. I don't have too much to say on it. It's just a great fantasy aesthetic. Not necessarily like Mario, but the fantasy aesthetic is still really good there. Very fun, good layout. It's nothing crazy though, which probably keeps it in the lower parts of A tier. The track layout's nothing crazy and doesn't have any crazy shortcuts. Just good and solid overall. Animal Crossing on the same hand is also really good. I love how it can kind of switch up between the seasons and how the track can kind of change between those season variations, but nothing crazy. Nice obstacles, a couple nice shortcuts. The only thing that keeps it down from like the top of A tier is probably that some of the track like parts can feel kind of awkward. Depending on the season, stuff can kind of get in the way and the flow of the track can be kind of affected, but it's nothing major, right? Neo Bowser City, this is personal bias. This is either a love or hate it course, right? Some people think this is the worst course of all time. There's some art for channel. No, I'm not looking to commission any art or anything. Sorry. Neo Bowser City, like, what is it? There's a few YouTubers I watch who are like F tier course, worst thing of all time. What is it? I think Odyssey Central is a hater of this. I also think Shafril's Productions is a hater of this. I'm not. I'm a huge fan of Neo Bowser City. And like the biggest thing is the layout of this course. The theming is really cool. The music is fine. It's nothing special though. But the thing that moves it up so high is I love the layout of the course. It feels so fun to play on. And GBA Ribbon Road is like the same thing. The Bell Cup is just like the best cup in the entire game. Just overall, like between Neo Bowser City, Ribbon Road, Super Bell Subway, and Big Blue, it is just peak after peak after peak. It is like seriously, like just genuinely like unbelievable peak. They're all S tier. They're all so good. Super fun layouts in all of them. Good hazards in Super Bell Subway. Choices between high ground, low ground driving. Very fun despite the simple kind of seemingly simple layout. Big Blue is just phenomenal. I mean, like, how could you ever say? Ribbon Road is probably the greatest glow up that ever happened in this game. And the theming is so good, the track layout is super fun, the music is great, it's just all good. Alright, halfway through the list now, I'm kind of going to storm through this because I actually think, let me check my phone real quick, but I think I'm having groceries come by soon, and I need to be ready to go get those, which means I'll probably have to end stream because I need to pick them up. So yeah, Paris Promenade. It's a good introductory to the tour tracks. It's simple and fun. probably a lower B tier course. Actually, I'm gonna put it here just on a Mario Kart Stadium, because as an introductory course like Mario Kart Stadium, it does really well. Toad Circuit. Yeah, what more to say? It doesn't look good. It's boring. The only good thing that this track ever did is ensure that... Excuse me. I watched a video yesterday about the Mario Kart World retro tracks coming in. And after watching that, the only good thing I could say about Toad Circuit is that it got a remake here, which means it's not in Mario Kart World. Simple as that. Choco Mountain, on the other hand, great... What? That's Coconut Mall. Choco Mountain had a great glow up, looks really good. I also wish it wasn't in Mario Kart World because it just got a remake, but you know what, whatever. I also wish Mario Circuit 3 wasn't in Mario Kart World, and I also wish Moo Moo Meadows wasn't in Mario Kart World, but hey, what are you gonna do? Nintendo loves their favorites, and it makes me want to kill myself. So yeah, Choco Mountain. Coconut Mall, oh... I feel bad because the course is still fun and everything, but like it's just not Coconut Mall. The colors are vibrant, but okay, the music's still playing. I didn't hear it for a minute. I was like, oh gee. The colors are vibrant, yet they feel washed out at the same time. The music is still good, but it's alright, you know, it's nothing crazy. They changed the look of the mall to feel more kind of fantasy-like and more integrated, I guess, into the Mario world. And as much as I've kind of been talking about for some of the other things, for Coconut Mall, I think some of the charm in it was feeling more realistic and more like a place that the Mii's lived in or people lived in, as opposed to Mario characters. So when you made it more cartoony and stuff like that, it kind of took away some of the charm. The cars in the parking lot just aren't the same. The feel of the track just feels a bit different. I think one of the only big gloves that I like about this is how in the big like 180 turns that they have at each end of the mall, instead of just like metal walls, it has like, they use bricks to make kind of like the 8-bit kind of levels on those walls. I really like that touch. But other than that, like the feel of the mall just isn't the same, and overall the course just feels weaker than its Mario Kart Wii iteration. Kind of very similar to Wario's Goldmine, but not as bad of a butcher, right? Tokyo Blur. Holy shit, what did they do, bro? Like, I'm sorry, like, Nintendo, you are Japanese based. Like, I know there are probably some landmarks in this track that are really crazy, but oh my god, like, this is an abomination of a track. Like, you took all the roads from something like Toad Circuit and then just took out the Mario theming, and it's even worse than Toad Circuit. Toad Circuit is just roads with nothing special whatsoever, and you put that in Tokyo Blur and then took out the Toad part. It's just road with nothing special. It's abhorrent. What is also abhorrent is, unfortunately, the plastic graphics that they were using for the beginning of the booster course pass and things like Shroom Ridge, but Shroom Ridge is too good to be kept down. I love this course. I love the layout. I love the feel of it. It's just super good, and this is definitely personal bias because most people will not put Shroom Ridge as high, but I love the music of this course. It's peak of A tier. That's my gatekeep for the S tier. It is a top of A tier. It is good. It's a good traffic course where the traffic actually feels dangerous sometimes, right? Very great layout, good shortcuts, very fun. I almost have the world record on this as of like 4 years ago, but I actually haven't raced on it, done my time trial records in a long time. I'll have to look up if the world record has changed on this, but I was like 0.7 away from, no, not point, I was like a second, 1.7 away world record on this. Anyway, Sky Garden. What do they do to you? I don't like, and even the look of this, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't really like the orange tile that they used, and then they kind of just butchered everything. You're F tier. Yeah, whatever. Ninja Hideaway though, this is really good. This is quite peak. I'll put you up here. It's just really, really good. I don't really have anything crazy to say about it. The multi-path is just super fun and interesting, and it's way better than Yoshi Valley because it actually so it matters a little bit, but not like a crazy amount where one path is like unbelievably faster than all the others. All of these have like their pros and cons, right? They have a fast path, but you have to kind of break through it with a mushroom because it's got piranha plant signs in the way. They've got an upper path, but one path only unlocks this, and you know, one path only works if you do that, or some of them have no difference at all. It's just kind of wherever you're going, right? Nothing crazy, but it's good. New York Minute is also pretty boring. It's, yeah, I don't really like, this is a D tier course. It's just kind of boring. Like, cool inspirations on a few parts of them, but like I really wish they would have leaned into more Central Park, because a lot of this course just kind of feels like I'm in a city that's not special. Mario Circuit 3, we're gonna make a new at a row below. We're gonna change this to gray. Oh, fuck Mario Circuit 3. And that's gonna go in there. Yeah? I think it's just the worst ever. Even though they're objectively worse courses than Mario Circuit 3. Fuck Mario Circuit 3. Kalimari Desert was never one of my favorite courses. It's cool and all. It just kind of feels like a better Bone Dry Dunes with the kind of red sand desert theming aesthetic, but it just feels a little more interesting because of the terrain and everything. Still pretty good, pretty decent, nothing crazy. I'd probably put it about here in the upper B tier. Waluigi Pinball, still very good, was peak on the DS, is still peak here. Wish it would have gotten its own more arcadey remix of the song, but you know, you can't win them all. Sydney Sprint is also really good. I think this is one of their best, if not their best, tour tracks. I think this one is quite phenomenal. And I would put this probably like right here in the high A tier. I don't know if I'd put any tour tracks in the S tier, but Sydney Sprint is probably the closest thing. Very good layout, very fun, actually pretty diverse and interesting. The music is really great. Just overall, just very good. Snowland also had a huge glow up, just like Sherbetland did. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, good track layout, very fun. Although albeit still pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and kind of put it here in the B tier. Mushroom Gorge, kind of another Wii course that doesn't feel as good as it did on the Wii. I don't really have too much to say about it because it's not as bad of a butchering as some of the other courses, but I don't know, I feel with the different mechanics of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it just felt a lot more fun on the Wii, with the bounciness and floatiness of it on the mechanics of the Wii, as opposed to playing it here in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe where things aren't as bouncy and floaty and wild, a little more tame. It just doesn't have that same kind of fun feel, despite the fact that they really didn't change the layout or track or anything like they did with Warriors Gold Mine. Sky High Sunday, I think, takes a lot of shit, kind of like how Drive Up Dunes does. It shouldn't take that much shit, albeit like it's still not the greatest course, right? But I think like it's not bad by any means. I'm just more excited to see in Mario Kart World now that it actually looks good and fun to play there, as opposed to in Mario Kart 8 where it's like, yeah, it's fine, like I can play on it, but whatever. Rock Mountain. I am not the biggest fan of this course. I was never the biggest fan. I think it felt a lot better on the 3DS. It was fine enough of a course on there, but it was never huge on it. Here, I don't really like it though. The physics feel kind of a bit different, and it kind of feels a little bit too big for its own good at some parts. And then it also feels kind of very boring. It feels kind of like a glorified loop. Which I know like every track is technically a loop, but this just feels like a glorified circle, right? It's got some twists and turns, but like I only find in my mind it's just start the race, cave, glide, forest, huge ramp, cave, and it's just like go through these like few things over and over. The forest is boring, everything, the plasticky textures really hurt this course because of how simple it really is. The big ramp up with the rocks falling feels boring. It doesn't feel like perilous whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. Merry Mountain as well, which is so unfortunate, man. I like it a bit better than Rock Mountain, but it's just like, dude, the first half of this course is so cool. Like, okay, like it's not Mario, but it's like Christmassy, it's cool, you got alternate paths with the railway, and like the normal path, all this stuff, this and that, blah blah blah. And then you hit like the top of the mountain, you're like, okay, top of the mountain, big give fast, a half pipe, and blank course for the next half. Just fucking nothing. It's yeah, very sad. London Loop, also just really boring. This one feels even more egregious than New York Minute, because at least New York is very vibrant. There are and there's like a little bit of Central Park greenery and stuff like this. London Loop is just it's just foggy, sad London City. You got Big Ben, cool. Wow, the change ups are a reference to the Queen's Corgis. Like, who fucking cares about that, man? That doesn't make this an A tier suddenly. Like, it's still just kind of a boring road course. Boo Lake, on the other hand, had a great glow up, as most GBA courses did in this game. Looks really good, it's very fun to play. There's only a few kind of awkward feelings with this course, like in the actual layout itself, but still very good. Probably not as high as stuff like Snowland stuff, because I like the themings of those better, but we'll put it over here with Wario Stadium and Mario Circuit. Maple Treeway, like, you just can't go wrong with this course. Is knocked slightly because you don't have the big rope jump stuff anymore, but like, you know, what can you do when you have a glider in the game? Still very fun. Berlin Byways, better than most that we've ranked so far in the tour course department. The music is good, the traffic is a nice addition, and just a lot more vibrant. It still doesn't go super high because there are kind of a few boring road sections of this still, but overall just better. Probably not Paris Promenade level, because Paris was just a good intro, whereas Berlin Byways at this point had a few, so it probably goes here in the low B tier. Still better than New York Minute and London Loop by far though. Peach Gardens is really good remake. I'll probably put it just here under Smute City actually. The decision to go backwards on lap 3 is phenomenal, fantastic. I wish they did a few more switch ups like this, maybe not the exact same thing of going backwards, but I wish they did a few more layout switch ups on some classic courses in their remakes to make them more interesting and stand out more, but still very good and very fun. Fantastic, just very good. And still very fun. I kind of wish they'd kept more of the layout from the DS instead of some of the layout choices that they went with here, but still good. 3DS Rainbow Road, I mean, it's really good, but I don't like it as much as most. A lot of people probably put this like this as their number one track. It's phenomenal, it's great, it's segmented, and usually segmented tracks have a leg up, but I'm not a big fan of this one. Number one, I'm not the biggest fan of the look on this Rainbow Road. I actually prefer the look even basically just any single other Rainbow Road. I don't like the blue tint that this road has as opposed to all the other ones. I don't like that. And I know it does more of a realistic spacing where you're driving on some planets and like rings of planets, stuff like that. And the texture on them just kind of look a bit awkward, especially on like the Saturn stuff. Like, yeah, I don't like it as much. The layout is fine and everything, but just it actually has a few sections on this that feel just kind of a little more, it leans more to the road rather than the rainbow part, right? It feels a little boring at some parts. I'm like, dang, a rainbow road shouldn't be boring. It also is much easier than most other rainbow roads where I'm like, you know, like a Wii Rainbow Road or the 8 Deluxe Rainbow Road feels a little more perilous than this one, to be honest. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's me, I don't know. But it's not my favorite. Still very good, but it's not my favorite. Amsterdam Drift, like, I don't know, like, let me look at these, because this is the one that has like the flowers and everything in it, right? It's fine. I like the waterways that they use in it, right? It's cool, but nothing really crazy. Probably put it just here at the Marker Stadium. Riverside Park is a great glow up, simple and fun. I probably wish I would have put it a little bit earlier in the Booster Course Pass, right? But still really good. Yeah, great glow up as, again, another GBA glow up. Fantastic stuff. Let's put you just here at Cooking Wall. I really like you. Wii DK Summit is very fun. I love this course, both in its Wii iteration and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe iteration. Super duper fun. Great music and everything. Yeah, I don't have a crazy lot to say about it. I just really like it a lot. Yoshi's Island is also very good. I'm not the biggest fan of Yoshi, like, adjacent games and stuff like that. The Yoshi's Island property, never really played those or got into them, but I really like this track, and I really like what it stands for, what it's worth. Just very good overall. I like Maple Tree way better though. I like Maple Tree better than Ninja Hideaway. And I also like Maple Tree better than you. And I also don't like Rainbow Road more than... no, that's fine actually. Yeah, it's good. Alright. Bangkok Rush. A little bit boring, I know. It's just okay. Some of the track layout feels a little bit awkward at times. It's fine. It's something crazy though. It peaks at the very beginning when you're running through the little canal. Mario Circuit, DS Mario Circuit, good glow up. And you also feel conflicted. Same kind of feeling with Toad's Circuit where I'm like, you know what, it got a remake here so that it didn't get a remake in Mario Kart World. But like, it's okay. I like it better than this Mario Circuit. But it'll probably go about here, just under Blue Lake. Waluigi Stadium, great glow up, looks phenomenal, fantastic. Half pipes is awesome. Yeah, just very, very good course overall. We'll probably put you. I'll actually probably put you right here, high mid A tier. Singapore Speedway is also one of your better tour tracks. Very fun, very lively, great music, feels a lot more inspired. The landmarks are really cool and feels a lot more diverse with where it goes. And it feels like an actual track rather than just roads in a city. Very good stuff. I really like it. Vancouver Velocity, on the other hand, is unfortunate because I thought it was going to be similar to Singapore Speedway, but it really just kind of feels like roads in a city. It peaks in the first lap and then just kind of goes to mediocre midness afterwards. So because of that, you'll probably go here next to Amsterdam Drift. And Amsterdam Drift is actually probably going to go here, but Paris Promenade, Mario Kart Stadium, or Athens Dash is also very good. It feels very inspired, less of a modern city, more of an old ruins type feel, which is really good. I like the old ruins of Thwomp Ruins a bit more, but still very good. Good layout and very fun. Daisy Cruiser is fine. I do not have any particularly strong feelings to this course. A couple parts can have awkward transitions, can feel a little bit, but overall they're just okay. Nothing good, nothing bad, honestly, really, with it. It's just kind of just a decent little track, and I'll probably break up these two tour tracks with it. Moonview Highway. As a traffic course, it feels easier overall, the course itself, but still very good and fun. And separates itself enough from the tour tracks to not feel to really like them too much. The music is also phenomenal in this, but it'll probably just be a low A tier. Squeaky Clean Sprint is S+. I mean, the layout is super fun, the music is great, the alternate paths you can take are very good. The theming is fantastic. It's just so good. Los Angeles Laps, on the other hand, yeah, that's an F tier, man. And Sunset Wilds, that's also an F tier. Koopa Cape is unfortunately another Wii remake that just feels weaker than its original. Still pretty good, very fun. It feels a little small though. I feel like this is also another one that kind of feels a little cramped and small, like they should have scaled up the size a bit in the model editor, you know? I don't forget what other track I said that about earlier, but yeah. And also the pipeline little section is still just not, it's not what it was, right? The gimmick of the pipeline with the spinning little electricity with the water at the bottom that could boost you forward was a very interesting gimmick, and just making it pure underwater it's fine, but like it's not what it once was. It's a shadow of its former self. Or no, it's a shell of its former self. Yeah, see what I did there? Madrid Drive, music is good, track is fun. I think it's kind of in the middle. Some people really, really love this one, think it's like crazy. Some people don't like this one. I am getting an important call right now. This is actually important. And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. That was an important doctor call that I had to make right there. Anyway, I'm sorry, that's gross. I should use a tissue. They're all the way over there. You know, I can just sniffle for like a few minutes. I'm almost done. Madrid Drive. Yeah, I talked about this. The music is good. The track layout though, like some parts are interesting where you have the Wiggler little plaza where you have the art gallery with all the paintings and references, but some other parts of this track are just like boring road, like turns with nothing interesting. So it probably would go here at the very bottom of C tier. Rosalina's Ice World, people give this one a little too much shit. They're like, oh, this track is boring and it's lame, and like, why did they include this one, like the final blah, blah, blah. You know what, shut the hell up. I think it's cool, I think it's fun. I wish it had a little bit more references to actual Rosalina instead of less ice, but you know, it is what it is. I think it's pretty solid. I'd probably put it here at the top of B, and Bowser's Castle is actually going to move down. I actually don't like this course that much like that. No, I mean, like it's there. It looks like green is also going to move a bit lower right there, yeah. There we go. I don't like Calamari Desert that much. We'll swap those two. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Bowser Castle 3. Huge glow up. Fun track now. It's like crazy how much is glow up. The music is great. The layout is fun. It's just so crazy. I mean, it obviously gets bonus points for it being a huge glow up, but like, god damn, like for real. This thing is crazy. I'd probably put it right there. It's just very fun. The layout is good. It's hard without being like crazy, and it makes a good Bowser's Castle as a penultimate kind of finale. And I realized these two last cups are out of order, so we're actually going to skip Rainbow Road real quick and hit Roma Vanti, which I think is a very solid tour track. Just pretty good, nice music, good theming, looks nice, and doesn't feel boring, and actually has some elements, of course, stuff on the track to make it interesting, like the fuzzies and the rocky wrenches. Just standardly, like, just good overall. I'd probably put this one just about here. DK Mountain. This is actually one of the only GCN courses that actually feels worse in this game than it does in its other iterations. Just with the controls of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this is just not the course. Some of the track looks alright, like the little glowing face of the volcano, or like the integrated stone like ramp stuff in the mountain, but like the flow just does not feel fun. This course just does not feel good anymore. Like, I don't know, I'm putting the two DK courses next to each other. They both have awkward flows and don't feel that fun to race on. Daisy Circuit, not the Wii course we all were expecting or wanting, but I think it's good and fun. I say that and I don't even remember what I predicted on that, but it's whatever. Maybe I did predict it. I know some people predicted Daisy Circuit. I don't think I did. I think I predicted something else. Well, it doesn't really matter either way. You know, Daisy Circuit. And I think it's good. The music is really fun. The skybox isn't, you know, perfect to what it was, but it's a pretty good replication. A little more blue in it than we would have expected, but you know, it is what it is. Still a fun course, a little bit easy to be kind of in the penultimate cup like that, but it's still very good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here, probably here. And Piranha Plant Cove. This one's also really good and actually pretty underrated. A lot of people don't really talk about this one or think about this one that much, but it's actually like pretty good. Good stuff, good fun. I know a lot of people want a Piranha Plant Pipeline. I also don't know why we didn't get that track in Mario Kart World, but it is what it is. This one's still really good. Gonna go ahead and put this one probably here. Follow me, Rainbow Road Wii. This is S+, right? It's just pink. Alright, you know what? I'm actually happy with this. I was thinking like, oh, you know, I'll like go back over it and fix what I need to, but like looking at all of this again, I think I'm good with all of this. And actually right on time too, because I need to leave to go get the groceries. It's 4:30. So here's a quick overview. Only 3 in the S+. All these 2 rows plus 1 of S. 3 rows plus 3 tracks of A. 4 rows plus 1 of B. A row and plus 3 of C, a row plus 1 of D, and only 6 F tier courses. And then Mario Circuit 3 at the bottom. Alright, and just over an hour streaming. I gotta go. So I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Anyway, that's how I feel the Trank. I'll be back later.